Listen, folks. Chris Carter called the Broncos a laughingstock this morning on the Four Letter Network. Why? Because they're running a scheme that previously only college teams or NFL teams from 50 years ago ran? You can say the same thing for the spread offense, which has been used to obtain Super Bowl rings for the Patriots and Packers recently. The spread offense started as only a college offense, and any quarterback that ran it was either not drafted or drafted very late. Maybe the college game is more innovative than the NFL right now. It sure seems like that. If your argument is, well, defenses will eventually catch on, like Crazy John's was right there, it's not a good one. The same thing could have been said about the West Coast offense that succeeded for 20 years and is still employed in some systems today. The same can also be said for the spread offense that seems to be the popular choice for teams with great passers. The fact is, this system has an opportunity to not only work right now, but to develop into something dominating for a long time. Listen, folks, not only is this offense working with Tim Tebow, it is working exclusively and only because of Tim Tebow. These same players on this same offense were ranked 22nd in the league in rushing before Tim Tebow was inserted at quarterback, and now they are ranked second 4 weeks later. One guy calls it a high school offense. Funny, because the spread is much more popular in high school right now. Before you turn me off after I say this next part, hold on a second and listen why, okay? Tim Tebow is the closest thing to Peyton Manning that we have seen since Peyton Manning. What? I'm crazy. I'm an idiot. I don't know football. I know. Hear me out, guys, okay? Tim Tebow is doing exactly what Peyton Manning so successfully did for years. He is dictating what play will be ran based on how the defense is lined up. But let's take it a step further. He's even dictating the play after the snap. So it is changing during the play. He's not just using the defensive formation to create a mismatch like Manning does. He's actually making a decision mid-play based on how the defense is reacting at that very second. And that, folks, might be what separates Tebow from everybody else. It has always been said that the NFL is too fast for teams to utilize the option. Unless Tebow's the quarterback, I guess, huh? So when the Broncos offensive coordinator Mike McCoy tells me last week that this system is not ran often because you have to have the right guy in there to do it, I know what he means. You got to have Tebow in there to do it. For all of you that talk about Tim Tebow's decision-making, how about that? A split-second decision that comes during the play, and he has 3 other options. He has to make the decision immediately, and he goes there. The stupid, close-minded, ignorant, local, and national media guys are brainwashed into looking at a quarterback one way and one way only. But what have I been saying all along? Tim Tebow is not a one-way cat, folks. He is revolutionary. He's tough. He's not scared to be different than any other pro quarterback that has ever came before him. There's only one rule in football. It's win. Why is it okay if a team only runs 8 times in a game and they pass the ball 55 times? But it's not okay if a team only passes 8 times and runs the ball 55 times. You know why? Because it's different. And humans hate different. You know what they really hate? They hate when they're shown something their entire life and succeeding at something their entire life, or in Merrill Hodge or Trent Dilfer's case, trying to succeed at something their entire life, and somebody comes in and does it differently than anybody else does or has done and succeeds at it. It's not fair to them. Just like how our own CU legend Kordell Stewart is fuming mad at Tebow and the Broncos right now because it's not fair to him. He wishes so bad that he could have had the chance to run this offense. Well, listen, Kordell, maybe if you had all the intangibles that the experts always poke fun at that Tebow has, you know, the leadership, the character, drive, will, determination, toughness, someone would have gave you that chance maybe. That's why this kid's so special. That's why he's creating history. And if number 15 fails, I'm putting it all on the closed-minded, tunnel vision, front office members of this NFL. I hate to say it, Bronco fans, but Al Davis would have loved this. He wasn't scared of change. He loved being an innovator. Whether it was a black head coach, drafting punters and kickers in the first round, or signing over 30-year-old quarterbacks to lead his team. He didn't care. You know why? Because he thought it would work, and he didn't care what anybody else thought. Love or hate the Raiders, you have to admit that about Al Davis. It's a shame that people like that aren't involved in sports anymore. Guys like Tim Tebow are the ones that pay the price for it. As for the passing game, it'll come, folks. It's getting to the point that a team is going to have to put every human being that they can find on the line of scrimmage to stop this attack. Tebow will be hitting a wide-open Eric Decker or Eddie Royal when they do this, and eventually everything's going to open up. In KC, he was 2 for 8. Yeah, I watched the game, I know. Out of those 8 passes, 1 bad that was in the dirt, 1 amazing touchdown pass, 1 that was a regular completion, and 5 incompletions that all hit receivers right in the hands. Not great throws, but they have to be caught in the NFL by NFL receivers. That's why Hall of Fame quarterbacks usually have Hall of Fame receivers, folks. I'm telling you right now, this is exciting, and it's something that has a chance to become very hard to stop. If there's one guy who can devise a scheme to stop it, it's Rex Ryan, and we will see him on Thursday night and what he can do against Timmy Tebow. I'll be in the press box for the game, and I will make a promise to all of you. If I get a chance to ask Rex Ryan in the post-game press conference if he regrets making snide, smart-ass remarks about Tim Tebow, I will ask him that. And one more idea, local and national media. Why don't you look into how this guy has been able to succeed so far, speaking of Tim Tebow, being unconventional and creative, instead of ripping him for not looking great during 6 plays on Sunday. It's a much better story for you.